I'm not going to do too much of this book review, but you know me. If I didn't do 2 videos, I would feel like it was not right. This won't be a long video by any means. In fact, it's going to be part 1 of 2. And because I know I've got too many pages marked. And let's do Birds and Blooms. This is April, May 2021. Okay, and they start off with this really cute idea in the corner from the letter to the editor. It says, Easter and Mother's Day is right around the corner. Here's an easy gift idea for loved ones who have a green thumb. Find a festive basket or a planting pot that they'll adore and fill it with goodies. Think plant markers, seeds, a good pair of pruner gloves with sturdy grips, a watering can, or a book. And they show this beautiful little girl. It says, too cute. Shannon Milano of Lima, Ohio says this of this photo. My granddaughter Felicity thought the sunflower looked so good that she tasted it. That's page 6. Okay. I found this very thrilling and very wonderful. I know my grandma loved flowers, so I think that's where, my love for flowers comes in. My mom does too, but not as much as my grandma. My grandma every summer was outside and always digging around. She didn't have a garden per se because she never really worked in one spot that I knew of. Now, my mom always said along the fence line she always had this beautiful row of flowers. I never recall that so much as her having multiple locations in the yard of different plants. And of course, we would always order from different catalog books. I can remember the Michigan Bulb Company being one of her ultimate favorites. And she had she still does have a beautiful butterfly bush out here with Grandpa's roses. Anyway, let's just read about these new plants really quick for 2021, and then we're going to call it a night. But this way we have 2 videos under our belt. Color Burst, tall garden phlox, livens cottage gardens, pollinator patches, cut flower gardens, or wherever you want some extra vibrancy. And it's not really purple. It looks like a purple, pink, blue crossover, and it's so beautiful. And it says that these new plants for 2021 will reawaken your garden with these stunning arrivals by Melinda Myers. And the very first one is called Luminary Ultraviolet Tall Garden Phlox. And I would love to have that if it would grow here. It's an ultraviolet. Zones are 3 to 8. So if you, the hummingbirds, the butterflies, and bees will be drawn to the magenta violet flowers this summer, this blooms, grows 28 to 32 inches upright. This phlox provides vertical interest in containers and gardens, grows several to ensure plenty of flowers for the pollinators and for your summer bouquets. Why we love it? Its resistance to disease means it looks livelier and lusher for longer. The second one is, it looks more like a weed than a flower to me. I'm being honest. It's called Lancelot Canary Island Sage, Salvia canarias. Lancelot zones 7 to 11 or annual. The saliva provides multiple benefits. The 36 to 42 inch tall plant with fragrant silvery white leaves has lower submittal water needs and prefers sun to partial shade. The lavender flowers with the rosy lavender brackets attract the hummingbirds, butterflies, and bees. Why we love it? It's frost tolerant to extend your enjoyment when other annuals are given away to the cold. It's kind of pretty. I mean, it's got purple and silver leaves, but to me it just doesn't have that gotcha, Number 3 is really what it says. Pink Flamingo Cardinal Flower. It's not really pink flamingo. It's not really a cardinal. It looks like it's in between. Lobia cardinus pink flamingo is zones 4 to 9. Here's a new twist on a hummingbird favorite. The cardinal flower, this 3 to 4 foot tall beauty, provides vertical accents to the garden and performs best with moist, well-drained soil and the full sun to light shade. If you grow it from the seed, you may be rewarded with a few pure red flowers. Why we love it? Flowers fade from dazzling pink to nice shades of salmon. Think like an artist. If your soil is a canvas, while planning, shopping, cluster potential arrangements on the ground to get the full picture. When it comes to color, you can even pick up paint swatches and experiment with different combinations. Now, I do like number 4. Even the name is cute. Miss Piggy Pipsqueak. Virginia cordifolia, Miss Piggy, zones 4 to 7. Welcome spring with the bright pink flowers and they continue to enjoy bold dark green leaves throughout the season. To enjoy this low grower makes a nice ground cover as well. On edge of the garden or container plant, grow it in rich, moist, wet, well-draining soil for best results. Why we love it: the shade is tolerant plant helps attract bees, butterflies to your garden. I'm going to try to get to all 10 flowers and then I will call it a night. Number 5. That looks more like moss to me than it does an actual flower, but let me read it off to you. Shangri-La Philodendron. Philodendron Vincantans Shangri-La. And I apologize if I mispronounced the actual chemical whatever name underneath there. Zones 9 to 11 or annuals. You'll love the philodendrons indoors. Now consider adding this lush new variety, super compact variety, to your garden. Deeply divided green leaves and a tidy, non-binding habit gives the Shangri-La instant elegance. Grow this shade lover in a protected spot on your patio or balcony or even in your garden. While we love it, because winter doesn't stop, it just moves indoors. Number 6. Again, this looks more like a weed than some sort of flower to me, and it would not make my top 10, but it's called Holy Smoke Big Blue Stem. It's Androphagan Gerdardi, Holy Smoke, zones 3 to 9. You can enjoy it year-round beauty in your garden thanks to this new big blue stem grass variety. See, it's a grass. The silver foliage is highlighted with splashes of smoky purple and red. Flowers top to 6 to 7 foot tall plants in the autumn. Leave dried seed heads standing in the winter to give your garden an extra dose of beauty and texture. Why we love it? It grows in most soils and is deep resistant. 7. Sweet Caroline Medusa green sweet potato vine. Now, if this thing actually grows potatoes, I already love it. Let's see here. Amposa batatas Medusa green annual. This new ornamental sweet potato is all about foliage and shape. The finely dissected leaves resemble green fingers with purple highlights. As it grows, the plant forms a dense mound of attractive foliage with minimal trailing. So basically it's another grass type of thing. It does not do anything for me. Why we love it: the form along it with its heat and sun tolerance makes it a perfect substitute for more shade-loving greenery. I don't care. Shade-loving greenery to me is not a flower. Just saying. Skip the haircut. Trailing plants like ivy, dichondra, and some sweet potato vines may need to be pruned for a tidier look. The Sweet Caroline Medusa USA green potato vine is more compact than others, so some gardeners choose not to trim it at all. The Macho Morada Mexican Petunia. The Rula Simplex Macho Morado, zones 9 to 12 are annual. Watch the floral display surge day and night time. Temperature rise in the summer. The 18 to 32 inch tall plant is covered with periwinkle blue, purple flowers in the summer in southern gardens and during the late summer to frost in north. Why we love it: you can skip the deadheading and it attracts butterflies. Now that one actually does not, it looks like it's got some weeds in it with a lot of that greenery, but the flower looks pretty. Okay. Oh, now here's some actual flowers. The last two are actual flowers. I will give you that. Number 9 is the Sombrero Poco Yellow Coneflower. The Enhanza ex Hybrida Sombrero Poco Yellow. The zones are 4 to 9 and it adds a splash of sunshine while it attracts bees and butterflies with compact winter hardy coneflower. Full sun and deadheading encourage the flower from late spring to late summer. It allows seed to form in the fall and attracts songbirds. Why we love it: it's deer resistant and drought tolerant once established. Trees and shrubs. Try these new garden center additions. The Bella Pinca Pontelia, the Cascadia Maple, Electric Lights Red Azalea, Firelight Tidbit Hydrangea, French Cabaret Purple Hibiscus, and the Jade Parade Sand Cherry. Number 10. Now this one, I don't like the name so much, but I love how the red, and it kind of looks like a little bit of orange, and the yellow just pop all together. It's called Dala Fireball Dahlia. The Dahlia hybrid Dahlia Fireball, zones 10 to 11 or annuals, are big, bright bicolor blooms add charm to containers, gardens, and bouquets. The longer lasting yellow twills in the center contrast nicely with the bright orange petals. It's also known for early flowering and slow to fade blossoms. Why we love it? Its exceptional garden performance and compact size make it suitable for any size landscape. Melinda Myers is always trying new varieties in her garden and containers. She evaluates them for their suitability and loves to share this information with you. They advertise these ground cover roses made easy. I would be interested in looking at their price. It's called Drift. I don't recall seeing them. Maybe they've been around, but I really don't recall seeing them. Thought I'd say that. Oh, I think we can cover this magazine. There's only 1, 2, 3, 4 more paper clips left. Okay, bird tails. Oh, I always love looking at these pictures. Fresh arrivals. Readers share the photos of spring migrants, backyard favorites settling down for the season. During the spring migration, many summer tangers make a long flight across the Gulf of Mexico. On this particular day, a weather front passed through South Texas, causing these migrating songbirds to struggle against a headwind to reach land. When the weather finally cleared and by the afternoon I knew the birds would land out of exhaustion, I drove around and found this amazing tanger on a bottlebush tree. I was glad to see the bird had made the crossing. Kevin Sutherland from Sunrise, Alberta. Oh, such beautiful birds. I wish you could see these photos. Spring birds, lots of birds. To our yard, my favorite is one of the larger, more vocal flycatcher, the great crested flycatcher. It stays around Ohio for most of the summer before journeying south for the winter. Deborah Parker from Medina, Ohio. I noticed some crabapple trees standing by a bluebird house in Chanhassen, Minnesota. I set up a nearby and waited for this male eastern bluebird to stop at the tree before heading to his house. I captured him just as he was landing on this branch full of blooms. I was really happy to get this photo of the bird, with his spring plumage and a beautiful tree. Rosalind Long from Burnsville, Minnesota. I live on a secluded property by a lake by the lower Adriatic. The back edge of the yard is lined with flowering shrubs and trees, and this cherry tree, a large variety of warblers visit the area, but a yellow warbler is my favorite. Lisa Young from Hadley, New York. Oh, I love this one. This tree swallow set its own home in our backyard at dusk. Swallows are all over the yard, flying and catching bugs. I took this photo with my Canon EOS 6D Mark No. 2. Debbie Clark from Decatur, Tennessee. A bird perched in a flowering tree is my idea of a perfect spring photo. Driving around the corner into the city park, I saw a northern mockingbird. I stopped for a few minutes. Left the car and snapped this picture. To me, it almost looks like a bridal portrait. Anita Brown from Washington, Missouri. Hey, it's getting close to Illinois. Will we see one from Illinois? Let's just keep reading. I was visiting my mother's house and observing the birds fluttering around the feeder when I spotted this yellow-rumped warbler perched on a branch. It was posing perfectly for me. In the last couple of years, I've seen warblers only at this location, so was it delightful to see an opportunity to photograph such an interesting bird. Mark Rupert from Freeport, Maine. Oh, and this one's just stunning. I captured this shot as a great egret with my Panasonic Luminex G8.5 while visiting some friends in Florida. I never realized how large and beautiful these birds are until I saw one in person. The experience was just wonderful. Lance Bruce from Zebulon, North Carolina. Okay. Let me see if I want to read this part or the next part. Well, I guess it's a little deeper than what I thought, so I apologize. But it is going to be a two-step process on this book. But you know what? That's okay. I have faith that I can get through all of these books before I deliver the magazines. And I only deliver magazines to Work Mom Deb on Saturday. I will try and get you a book review on the book that I read coming up, but we've got plenty of time for book reviews on actual novels because we're not going to be going to the Candy Kitchen for a while, unfortunately, so breaks my heart. But anyway, please stay tuned, and thank you for watching as always. And I hope that this gives you some information on not only beautiful flowers, but also wonderful birds that were caught in camera. So thank you for tuning in, and see you again tomorrow, I hope.